Hi, cities. How are you doing? Welcome to Nayasim. Hope you are great. So, I came across this video that almost every black people are pissed at, and I am very pissed too. Because tell me how that happened in broad daylight. And I keep telling black people recently that I am not scared of the ones that happen where there were cameras, but I am very much scared of the ones that happen where there are no cameras. Because if that cop could do that, if that police could do that there and try to act the victim, and thank goodness there were cameras everywhere that captured everything that happened, show that young man with force and turn around to act the victim, turn around to act, immediately become the victim. And thank God for the camera. I learned that he was sent home from there. This is the kind of energy we need. And thank to black people. See, one thing I will continue to say that I love about black people, the fact that you know when not to keep quiet. It's one of the biggest flex anybody will ever have in this life. And thank goodness you have it. You have so much audacity. Your audacity is 10 over 10. You don't withhold back. When it is not right, it is not right. I love how you guys are always very quick to call them out. Because if not for this calling out, it would have been a long ride. I appreciate you people. Let's get into this video.
So, welcome to today's episode of While Black, subtitled Playing Football While Black in Texas, and you just scored a touchdown and pissed off a Texas state trooper in the process. All the investigations into gambling, well, maybe this state trooper should be investigated for his act of intimidation. Now, this happened today, November the 15th, during the Texas A&M South Carolina game. And I want you to see the figure circled here in red is the state trooper in question. And this player right here, number 6, had just ran a touchdown, and he was limping off the field into the tunnel. I want you to see how far this state trooper had to go to deliver this shoulder check to this young man, and then had the nerve to get mad. Let's take a look. You see this, right? You see it, and you saw. Let's look at it again closer. The whole football team in full gear should have dogpiled him right there on that concrete. That state trooper went out of his way into this tunnel to deliver that shoulder check on the young man who had just scored a touchdown against his team. You can't make this up. There was no reason for him to walk over there in the first place. This was intentional. And the Texas A&M police posted, "We are aware of the incident in the Northeast Tunnel involving a DPS trooper. He has been relieved of his game day assignment." And of course, I've gone to the comment section and I see people like Get Real saying, "Shouldn't get on the officer for doing his job. I'm sure he had safety reasons for doing it." Safety reasons. Right. Safety reasons involving you're mad that this man just scored a touchdown against your team. And you had to make it known. Because that's what mediocre white men do. Safety reasons.
I have a very controversial opinion about that Texas cop that bumped the South Carolina University football players in the hallway going to the field. Like, he was wrong. I want to be clear. He was wrong. It was unprofessional. And I don't even know if he knew cameras were watching, but I hope he did, because I would hate, or I hope he didn't, because I would hate to find out that he knew there was cameras watching, because then you can only imagine what he would have done if there were no cameras around. Now that I've gotten all the disclaimers out of the way, the fact that we saw what happened, He didn't abuse his power. He didn't pull out his weapon. He didn't hold the South Carolina players. He didn't do any of that. So the fact that he was a Texas cop, they were playing at Texas A&M versus the SEC school that's not from Texas. Well, even if they were, but they're from South Carolina. I'm not mad at the bump. Just like, yeah, you're in Texas now. Yeah. Just like, I know he's a white guy. The players are black. I get all the racial connotations that come with it. I'm not dismissing that. I'm just speaking strictly as a SEC football fan who firmly believes in home field advantage. I'm not mad at a little intimidation. I know he's a cop. I know that could have went bad. I know. I'm not dismissing that. But we have to deal with the reality. He bumped him. They turned around. He bucked. He kept it moving. So they weren't arrested. No weapon was pulled. Like, everything ended up being okay. So with that fact, I'm saying I'm not mad. If you rattle the players a little bit and Texas A&M is a winner, I don't even know who won the game. I don't care. I'm a Georgia fan. I don't care. Go dog. I'm just one of those fans that's just like, anywhere you can get an edge, so be it. But God bless those players for keeping their composure, keeping it moving. Everybody was safe. And I've heard or seen reports that officer was removed from his post at Texas A&M games. I think indefinitely, but definitely for the rest of the game.
I am so sick of these racist ass people, y'all. They are everywhere and they showing their ass. So it's this police officer who is working the football game, the South Carolina football game against Texas A&M. So he just supposed to be there to make sure no fans or none other of that stuff happens while the football game is going on. So the South Carolina football player scores a touchdown and he runs into the tunnel because it was a long touchdown. He's coming back to the field. The racist ass police officer walks up to him. This going on live TV, y'all. They showing him. You can see the racist police officer goes up to him and bump him with his shoulder like he mad, got his team getting their ass whooped. So he bumps the guy. He bumps him. So the black guy turned back like, what's going on? The fucking racist guy, police officer, just pointing his finger like, I don't know what he was saying, but he just pointed his finger like the black guy was wrong. See, that's what I mean, man. These racist people are everywhere, man, especially down in the South, man. What is y'all fucking problem, man? What is y'all problem? Y'all own everything. Y'all got everything, but yet y'all still mad at the black and brown people for a reason I do not know why. They need to fire that police officer immediately. There's no reason for you to even go up to him. Your job is to make sure no fans come on the field or nothing happen to the players, the coaches, the referees, or the staff. That's your only job. But yet you want to show your racist ass and they caught your ass on TV, shoving the black guy because you mad that they beating the dog shit out of your team, man. I'm sick of these racists, man. I am sick of these racists, man. When y'all gonna wake up like, we don't want nothing from y'all white people, man. We don't want to be around y'all white people, but yet black people is on y'all minds every minute, every hour, every day, every week. What do y'all want, man? Y'all got every fucking thing. All the privilege that y'all want. But yeah, y'all still want to mess with us, man. That guy need to be fired, man. That guy need to be fired, man. I am sick of this, man. I'm just sick of this, man.
You guys see the Texas A&M South Carolina game where the guy scores a touchdown and he runs like into the tunnel. And by the way, he strained his hamstring, so he's like kind of holding his hamstring, and his teammates come up, because that's what usually teammates do. They come up, celebrate. That's a normal thing. Depending on how certain stadiums are built, you can run through the whole. And then all of a sudden you see this state trooper walk in between them, like purposely bumping them. And they're like, yo, what the f? And he's like, you get out of here. Got real like belligerent with them. I'm sitting here like, what the just happened? I go, yo. And by the way, guys, there's yourself in position to bump these dudes like he was a high school bully from the 80s. This shit was so crazy. And then you look on the left side, the one player's trying to move out of his way because they got to get back to the game. And he bumps him, and they're like, what? And he goes, you get the fuck out of here. That was a kind of a weird time to play tough guy, buddy. They're playing a game, and you're mad that they scored? What the f? Or maybe he was not a fan of South Carolina, and he was a Texas fan. That's fine. But what made you do that? That's somebody's. Are you a father of children? Are you actually? Did somebody actually breed with you? You're somebody's daddy. That was some punk ass right there. That kind of sums up what's going on with a lot of white men in America. A lot of you're feeling froggy. It's like you really don't understand that your president's gonna get your ass whooped. You think you're just gonna go around bullying people because you feel like the walls, I guess, of brown people are closing in on you. Maybe in the year 2000 and whatever, there's not gonna be a lot of white. I don't know what's going on, but it's like all these little incidents are just accumulating. It's always violence. You always resort to brute force because that is the European white way. Is decimation, right? Isn't that what it is? Extermination, violence. That's all you know. You're the most violent race on the planet. For some reason, you did some good marketing to make us the scary people, but it's you that's scary. You're the ones that you resort to brute force when you can't compete equally. What was up with that state trooper? Did he play football and not make the team? Did those black dudes remind you of how not fast you were? Now, of course, there are great white athletes out there. There are some, yeah. But did that make you mad? Does your daughter have his jersey on? Is your daughter wearing his jersey? Is your daughter dating him? Maybe that could be it. Huh? When you were playing football and you were in the shower, did you feel insufficient? Huh? Is that what it is? Because that's what it looked like. You trying to be tough guy at the wrong time. You're sitting up there abusing the players when you're supposed to be there in case fans get out of line, but you want to fuck with the people that are actually playing. You old. You're a old. Thank you, Jamaica, for teaching me that word. Old. That's what you are. That was so lame, but it really sums up how a lot of you white men are sometimes. Just racist, ignorant. You just won't get over that shit. You just won't get over it. And it's okay. You can say what you want. I'm ready for the smoke. It was uncalled for. Nobody's bothering you. All right? Nobody's bothering you. That was so ignorant, going all the way. See, now, if these kids were like out of their uniform, maybe coming out of the stadium, and then you walked up to them with no gun, I bet you it would have been handled differently. You would have probably got your ass mollywopped. Huh? Anyway, I just wanted to express that shit. And you guys, I want to give credit to those players that they didn't take their helmet and bash him over his head, right? But then that would have been given him a reason to go, God damn it. Anyway, can't wait to hear the comments.
People walking around saying they not like us. No, they still don't like us. I want the cop that bumped Nick Harbor to be fired immediately. Nick is one of the fastest players in the country. Ran in an 80-yard touchdown where he ran in a tunnel. He looked like he actually pulled his hamstring. The cop clearly bumped him on his way coming back to the field, and he looked like he might have called him a boy. This is totally unacceptable and uncalled for. This man is a student athlete. You gonna pull this stuff on a student athlete? What you gonna do to a brother that's on the highway?
And you just know that cop said, "Watch your step, boy," even though he was the one in the wrong. This happened at the South Carolina versus Texas A&M game. Go Cox, that's my alma mater. One of the players, Nick Harbor, had just scored a touchdown, but then it appears he got a cramp or something because then we see him limp into the tunnel. You can see Nick holding his hamstring on the footage. Afterwards, one of his teammates runs behind him to check on him, and as they're walking out, this Texas State trooper shoulder checks them and then had the nerve to talk trash to them afterwards, even though they were making space for him. This made quite a commotion in the sports world. LeBron James even commented on the situation with this tweet: "That A&M cop needs to be suspended. That was premeditated and corny AF. He went out of his way to start some ish. Do better, man." And they did get his ass, y'all. According to this tweet from the Texas Department of Public Safety, they are aware of the incident that occurred during the Texas A&M football game. The DPS trooper involved was sent home from the game. They go on to say our Office of Inspector General is also aware of the incident and will be further looking into the matter. No additional information will be released at this time. That cop ain't nothing but a bully with a badge, and he would have gotten away with it too if the cameras weren't on him. Now I want to see all of the dash cam and body cam footage of the arrests that he's made since he's been a police officer to make sure he ain't the type to use excessive force. Let me know what y'all think about this.
Here comes the next play. Great pass. Watch this track speed. This is awesome. I mean, this is just awesome speed. Now, when he goes through the end zone, right here, you'll see where he is. And notice all the way over here is this asshole right here in his uniform. So the kid goes through moving out of the way. He elbows the two players and then turns around and talks shit on the kid. Dude, you can straight go fuck yourself.
As you can see in that video, the pig was clearly trying to provoke the players. He wanted a reaction so he could paint them as violent black men and then justify using force against them. Like, you can see he ran into them on purpose, and it looked like he was trying to start something from the very beginning. He basically set the situation up hoping they would react. And also shout out to the players for keeping their cool and not giving him what he wanted, because that's what he wanted. He wanted a reaction. And that kind of behavior from an officer is dangerous and unacceptable. Like, an officer who acts like that should face consequences, because there's no real excuse for trying to escalate a situation just to harm people. So the state of Texas, take his badge.
Oh my God, even if you're not a sports fan, you have to watch this. This South Carolina football player, he just scored a touchdown and he's injured limping into the tunnel. It's a gigantic game against the number 3 team in the nation, Texas A&M, and South Carolina takes a lead. But as he's walking out of the tunnel, this Texas A&M state trooper bumps the dude and then tries to fight the South Carolina receiver. Take a look at it in slow motion. The A&M cop bumps the South Carolina football player, and then he turns around and tries to incite a riot. Thankfully, Texas A&M dismissed the cop, and I ain't got to deal with it, but wow.
Well, that was quick. Texas A&M police already responded to this incident and said they were aware of what happened. They have relieved that cop/state trooper of his assignment. Now, if you don't know what's going on, Nick Harbor for South Carolina scored an 80-yard touchdown, and it looked like he was kind of grabbing his hamstring, trying to slow down, going towards the tunnel. His teammates followed after him. As they're all coming back out, the cop/state trooper, or whatever he is, pushed through them, and it looked like he said, "Get out of here." Now, the reason why this is bad is because you're supposed to be there to make sure that everybody is safe and no trouble is happening, not aiding the trouble. And also, you have fans, you have recruits, you have everybody looking at you, and also you have famous people. You have people like LeBron James who's saying that you should be suspended, relieved. You got other people saying you should be fired, and this is just a bad look for Texas A&M, mainly because this is one of the greatest comebacks that we've ever seen from this school. We should be talking about how they're 10-0 and taking over college football right now, but it's being overshadowed by this. So hopefully they can get this quickly resolved, but this is definitely a blemish in a great day of football. But what do you guys think? Is the punishment justified, or should there be more? Comment down below.
Law enforcement fatigue in America is so real, because fuck this guy. Fuck this cop. If you haven't seen the whole thing, here we go. Like, who the fuck does that guy think he is? The kid just scored a touchdown, was limping up into that little tunnel a little bit, and the officer comes in and elbows two players? Now I get it, the guy was relieved of his duties, he's not going to be able to do game days anymore, but like, what the fuck? That's legitimately assault, right? And I get it, we live in America, the cops suck, they can get away with basically anything. We also have a secret police unit that wears masks and just kidnaps people based off of race. So I'm just saying, law enforcement fatigue is fucking so real.
As a hater today, I am snitching. Internet, who is that nefarious dickhead? I need him fired by the end of the day. This is what's beautiful about the internet. It moves so fast I could put this joint in slow-mo to show that you are at fault being the aggressor. 27 trying to move, groove, vibe, slide out the way. Let me get back to this ass beating. And then you go out your way to hit him and number 8. Who are you? You are not the main character. Nobody give a fuck. And the only reason they ain't beat your ass is because you had that uniform and gun on. And you think you have authority. Well, guess what? You thought that was good karma because Texas A&M came back and won? Well, I'm the bad karma. They say a picture worth 1,000 words, but this one worth 1,000,000 because it's dweebs like you. They get a uniform and a gun, and all of a sudden they be feeling real dangerous and manly when really, you still a bitch. And that's why you should be able to run the ones at least once a year, at any time, at any given point in time, only one time. Cannot be a woman, cannot be somebody super elderly, but like a time like this is perfect, where it's like, oh, okay, hold on. This is my one fight a year. Now, yep, we got the next 3 minutes. Me and you gotta go head up, one-on-one. Nah, you gotta take the uniform off, gotta take the gun down. Yeah, you was talking big shit. You just tried to bully me because we whooping your ass right now, and you feel like you the main character. Oh, I'm Texas A&M. I'm a Texas cop. I have the right of way. Bitch, the only reason you getting paid is because this game is going on. I'm the main character. Now I'm about to beat your ass. See, that'd be beautiful. Sometimes coworkers and other human beings need their ass beat. They've never gotten a fight in their whole life, and so they be thinking like, shit is sweet. But then if you have, oh, I'm using my ones right now. Yep, here we go. Yeah, I'm about to beat the brakes off you. And then you beat their ass, all of a sudden they've learned a lesson, and they're never going to do that stupid ass shit again. And you upset because you probably sucked at high school sports and was never a high school athlete, and now look at you at college games, and this is your only chance and opportunity to be physical with college athletes. Grown-ass man, by the way. And that's why you a pussy.
Lo and behold, immediately after that incident, by the way, they went on ahead and they sent him home for the rest of the game, not to mention he's under investigation at this point in time. And I believe they need to do a thorough investigation on his behind, because if he's doing this at a football game, can you imagine what this mofo is doing on the streets? Can you imagine? And these kids were literally trying to get out of this way, and guess what? They were literally playing a football game. Nick Harper was already hurt. He hurt his hamstring on the play. And 27 also, he was trying to get out of his way, and he literally pushed that kid. So you can imagine, if he's doing this at a football game, can you imagine what this cat is doing out there on the streets as a state trooper? Can you imagine? It is detrimental. And everybody saw it. So yeah, get him up out of there. Do not allow him to patrol any more games. And guess what? Do a thorough investigation into his police practices, because that was totally undarn called for. But let me know what y'all think.
Honestly, that trooper, he was wrong, fam. First of all, he bumped into the Carolina players. And mind you, Carolina was beating the fuck out of Texas, bro. Beating the fuck out of Texas. But Texas ended up switching it around, beating the fuck out of them. Like, bro, it's crazy. But the craziest part about the whole situation is, if you're frustrated at something, you should not be taking it out on anybody else, especially the kids, because it's a fucking, I'm not going to say it's a fucking game, because college football, it's a different story. But like I was saying, it's a fucking game, bro. And these are fucking kids. Like, why did you even have to do all that? That was weird as fuck on top of that. I feel as if this officer, he did that on purpose because he was frustrated that, the home team lost. Not lost, but was losing. Like, fam, 30 to 3 at halftime. Like, bitch, I would have thought we was losing too. Honestly, that doesn't give you the reason to act like that, because one, you're an adult. You got to set examples for these younger adults, these kids and whatnot, and now you're all throughout the fucking internet, TV and whatnot, just because you just let your emotions get to you. I feel as if a lot of these men, they need to learn how to hold their emotions because, like, fam, I understand it's a game. It's not just any game. It is a game, but it's just like, fam, come on, bro. Like, I'm a Hurricanes fan. When the Hurricanes was losing, I'm not going to act like that. I'm not going to do that, especially to the players. Like, they're beating the fuck out of us. I'm going to be like, all right, bet. I'm not fucking with you, but I'm not doing that weird ass shit. Like, that's weird, bro. Suspension or whatever. I don't think somebody should lose their job over it, but I mean, you're trying to flex your how you say, your authority, but I don't think he should lose his job for something like that, fam. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, just let me know what you think about this whole.
This cop clearly wanted a fight, and the abuse of power was caught in 4K. How do you create a whole scene out of thin air? South Carolina players Nick Harbor and Oscar Attaway are seen calmly walking through the tunnel, and then this cop decides to make contact. Number 27 steps aside, and the trooper still wedges himself in between them, and then throws an elbow, like he's looking for a reaction. He then turns around, points at the players, and starts scolding them like they missed curfew. Sir, you walked into them, and you could just tell he's one of those dudes who still brags about playing football in high school, even though he was probably a walk-on long snapper whose biggest stat was perfect attendance. But get this, Texas A&M released a statement, and this man was already relieved of his duties and sent home. Texas DPS and the Inspector General are now investigating. All that tough guy energy just to get benched by your own department. If this is how he acts with cameras rolling in front of 80,000 people, just imagine how he acts at a traffic stop in Texas.
This Texas State Trooper needs fired 100%. Bro literally was trying to rage bait the South Carolina players so hard. Like, you have so many places else to walk. If I see a group of players as a spectator, as a cop, I'm not just going to go walk through the whole group and then shoulder check the South Carolina player that could absolutely end you if you didn't have a gun. But like, this is a monster of a man, and this dude just walked right through him. Like, bro is rage baiting to the max. Dude was like, well, he can't hurt us if I just go through there and arrest him. Like, this is absolutely insane. I've never seen something like this in my life, to be honest with you. And by the way, I want to say something real quick. Texas Tech is absolutely so fucking overrated. They are so overrated. People are really trying to say that, like, they deserve the number 2 spot and all this, or number 1 spot even. Like, you guys are so delusional. South Carolina wasn't complete dog shit. Like, they could have won this game. Like, if they weren't absolutely horrible, like, they should have won this game, really. If it was anyone else, you know, somebody that was actually ranked, Texas Tech would be so done.
All I got from this video. I don't know how I feel watching this video because there were a lot running in my head, and that is Black people's safety. Number one, I am like, if this man could do something like this in a place, in an open place, that there are so many people, and there, you know, there are cameras too there watching and all that. If that man could do that there, I don't know what he would be doing outside the stadium. That is one of my biggest concern. That if he could do that to those kids, I feel like they are, okay, I don't want to call them kids. I think they are, but yeah, from the man looks older. All right? So if he could do that to those young men, trust me, I do not trust them. And this is also one of the reasons why Black people do not trust the cops, because they never change. They have never ever changed. They are still the same today, tomorrow, and forever. I am in shock that of all places to do that, it was at that stadium. And you saw the way he, like, you know, shouldered them and turn around to ask the victim. It is called wickedness. Oh, you are pissed that the young men were winning or that they were playing the game. Like, how? Seriously, sometimes I fear for my people. Why? Because most of the things happening to them are not hidden. All right? They are happening in broad daylight. And when you talk about all these things, people will still tell you, stop talking about it and it will go away. Just shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. You are lucky to be here. Shut the hell up. Shut up. It's gaslighting 101. Don't ever say that close to me. This particular one, you are lucky you are here with all this. You all really be wild and seriously, on a very serious note. And the fact that they will continue to tell you that they are the ones scared of my own people, that they fear for their lives, or my people fear for their own lives. Tell me which one to go with. Because at this point, I am scared for my people's life. And they are also scared. They know it. They see everything going on. That you decided to bully young people that didn't do anything to you. Black excellent. Because that was what happened there. And if you think it's beyond that if you think it's not what happened, or maybe it was just a minor, no, that was not minor. Your eye should be your friend, and you can go back to watch those clips again. I am not scared of what happened there. I am scared of what happens with that camera. That is where my fear is. Bye for now.